Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to talk about the Profit Retriever. We're going to talk about the top 10 over the last 4 weeks, the ones that has basically performed the best. There is a couple of new entries here. Well, actually there's only one, and that's a high jumper. It's come from position number 17 last week all the way up in first position. And actually it goes very well hand in hand with what I previously have discussed sometimes, that some of the signals here, they lie dormant for a week or two, and all of a sudden they come back and they're really cashing in. This is also what has happened this particular week. Things has been quite stable over the last many weeks, and as you can see also here, if you look at our videos on a week-to-week basis, somewhere between 11 and 13,000 has basically been what we have achieved every single week. We have done these reviews for the last many weeks. And that's exactly what we want to have. And as I mentioned here, there's only one new entry to the top 10. And that also, again, spells stability overall for the signals here, which ones are providing the best. We are over all the terrible drawdowns we had back in April here, and things are moving forward again. There is a couple of ones that are still hanging around, but overall the Profit Retriever, as usual, delivers, and that's what we're going to have a look at here today. Also, we're going to have a look at the month of May, because we have just finished another month here, and those are also extremely stable results, and they are all in the mix here also from what you see in the series. So definitely, if you follow this one here, you get a very good idea of which ones of the signals are working out the best. So let's have a look and see exactly the top 5 for the week itself. It is the US 30, number 2 signal in here. $1,670, and this again I have to remind you is just in 1 week, 16.7%, so definitely high jumper for the week. I have told you before that these index here, they can be a bit dormant and all of a sudden they just come back. And you can see the US 30, so the older signal we have in here also did quite well, obviously not that well, $791 or 7.9%. Aussie Japanese 2, $627 or 6.3%. Then we have gold, which continues to do up there also quite well, $417 or 4.2%. And then Aussie Japanese, $385 or 3.8%. If you would have traded those 5 in the last week, you would have made $3,890 or 7.8%. And these are some of the signals again that you need to have a look at, and of course not just on a weekly basis, but also on a wider range, and that's why we have these 4-week reviews. Now you can obviously find all these details, and you can then go in, sit and dissect all the data that we have on our website. Normally we always keep the last 4 weeks up on the Profit Retriever website here, plus we also keep the last 4 videos of these 4-week reviews. So you can always go back, have a look, see ones are the stronger signals at the moment. If you prefer to trade it yourself, then it will still give you a very good insight as to which ones are working at the moment. Or if you want to copy trade it through Expert Forex, then that's also an opportunity, and you will find the links in here too. Now, on top of this, we obviously have also the monthly results, and also here we are keeping 4 months return on all the Profit Retrievers and how it's doing. Plus, of course, you have the button in the middle of the screen here also, which is basically our entire portfolio. So all the EAs that we are trying to run to figure out which ones are the best ones, which ones should be the ones that we actually put some money onto. And at the bottom part in red is again our recommendations. So for what you need to do and what type of accounts you need to set up here. So because especially, as you can see, the indexes, they are doing quite well, but they can also go in massive drawdown. So definitely go and have a look at that at the end of the day. This is obviously not trading advice. This is simply information and recommendations based on we can see our trading has done in the past. So with all this here, let's go and have a look at the top 10 results for the weeks. So the account setup is the same as we have every single week now. We have number 1 to 10 over here, and then we have the different currency pairs, indexes, and even crypto coins that we have. We have the links for the copy link service if you're interested in that. A lot of people continue to ask us. That's why we have added those on. And then we have last week's results and also color coded if they have gone up or down, so make it easier for you. And then week 19 to 21, where we basically go through all the different results through the weeks, the total sum, and also the total percentage over here, and the top 5. We will get back to you on this one here a bit later in the video. So we're starting off with the US 30. As you can see, it is now in number 1 position, link 107C. It actually came from a position at 17 from last week. And even though it was doing okay, week 19, $416, week 20 and 21 was very, very weak. There was not enough movement basically, so in the market. And as I told you here before, a lot of people will then try and find a different signal. As soon as they've done that, you can see the bot basically cashes in again, 1,669. So the total sum for the 4 weeks is $2,117 or 21.18%. And that is definitely very, very nice for just a week's profit. Aussie Japanese number 2 is also doing well, 129C here. It was number 2 last week. It continues to stay up there, and we can see why. It is cashing in quite regularly, somewhere between $257 and up to this week, $626. Overall total sum, $1,778 or 17.79%, has also made a very good impact on this week's results. The second US 30 is also up here. This is the old link, 53C. It was number 10 last week, but like the US 30 number 2 here, it has also cashed in. Don't forget, these are actually 2 different setups completely. And that's also why you see that the week 22, it only cashed in $791 compared to the number 1 here of $1,600. But overall, still, it is cashing in basically consistently enough, or every single week. So $1,466 is definitely not bad with 14.67%. And then we have gold, which is the signal here that seems to do extremely well. It's not on the coupling service yet. We will do that at one point here. It was number 8 last week. It is now up to number 4. And again, it has cashed in $1,395 or 13.95% for the week. So again, also here, very strong results. The last one ending up in the top 5 is the Aussie Japanese, link 98. That has also done extremely well. And definitely you can see it was in number 1 position last week, but it wasn't even enough. The $384 it made in week 22, it had to move all the way down the ranks, but it cashed in $1,258 or 12.58%. And basically made it the bottom of the top 5. So if we have a look at the top 5 range over here, we can see overall we have made, and if you would have traded those top 5 in the last 4 weeks, you would have made $8,017 here or 16.03%. And that is definitely a very nice results if you can get those. As we said, most of the top 5 results has been in here. You have seen them week by week. So this is not something new apart from the one and only, the US 30. That was switched out with the NASDAQ file, and that was previously in here. It has now dropped out of the schedule. Now, if we look at number 6, we can see the US Canadian 74, a very popular signal indeed. It was number 9 last week, moved up to number 6, and continues also here to cash in every single week with $925 or 9.25% overall for the last 4 weeks. So definitely also very good results here. Euro New Zealand is another one. So with the link 56C, it was number 6 last week, moved down 1. And the reason for that is it didn't cash in anything here in week 22, but overall still doing $901 or 9.01%. So definitely still in the mix. Bitcoin USD is the one that continues to surprise us, but it hasn't done so well this week. It's link 127C here. It was number 3 last week, but week 22 was a very weak one. And after a bit of up and down in the markets, things have gone a bit sideways here, and it only made $22 in that week. But overall, still, it's good for $792 or 7.92% if we look at it over the whole 4-week period. Aussie USD is link 83C, Also here, cashing in every single week. As you can see, we don't have many zeros. The only one was here at number 7. But we can also see here that that has dropped from position 5 down, even though it made $191 in week 22. Overall, $706 or 7.07%. So also very nice and approved results for the week. USD Swiss franc is link 36. Also these ones here, very old results. It was number 4 last week. It's still doing well. It only had one bad week, was week 21, where it made $10. Week 22, $176. So definitely moving forward again. And then we can see the total sum of $656 or 6.57%. Now, if we have a look at the individual weeks here also, if you would have traded those signals over the last 4 weeks, we can see week 19 here has done pretty well. And that was basically coming out of the bad month of April, $2,960 or just below 3% with 2.96. And then the week after, again, very stable results here. So 3,090 and just over 3%. So again, very, very stable results. Then we have week 21, which was a very weak week here overall, $1,470 or 1.47%, but they will arrive similar to all of a sudden. You can see the week after we have the high jumper for the 4 weeks, which is week 22 with $4,477 or 4.48%. So overall, if you would have traded those 10 accounts here over the last 4 weeks, the overall profit would have been $11,998 or 12.0%. And that is basically as stable as it gets when it comes to the Profit Retriever EA. Now, in the beginning of the video, I obviously also promised you that we're going to have a look at the results for the month of May, and we're going to take the top 5 EAs in here. You will actually recognize that these top 5s in here is also on the 4-week list overall. And obviously here we have Aussie Japanese is actually cashing in as the number 1 overall, $3,113 or a massive 31.1%. Definitely that is as good as it gets for a particular month indeed. Aussie Japanese 2, again, these are 2 different signals. They are traded at different times. And you can see the results also here is quite different. There was a spike in the original Aussie Japanese here that made this stand out a bit more for the month. But the number 2 signal actually made $1,718 or 17.2%. And that is definitely also a result that is worth noting. Then we have gold, which cashes in quite nicely at the moment, $1,211 or 12.1%. And then Bitcoin USD continues to be up there now that we have introduced it again to the CopyLink service with $1,192 or 11.9%. And the last one of the top 5s here for the month of May, US Swiss francs, $1,139 or 11.4%. Overall, again, for trading these top 5 signals here, $8,373 or 16.8%. That is definitely something to take home to the bank. Now, obviously, all these results here is only our results. It is not a recommendation of exactly what you are supposed to trade in here, but definitely gives you a good idea of what you should be looking at going forward if you want to trade it yourself, or obviously if you want to use the CopyLink service. It is a very good basically direction to see exactly which ones are working, which ones are the ones that are cashing in week on week. That's normally what you want to see. Obviously, the indexes are doing extremely well, but as I said, you have to be a bit more patient on those because they can be a week or 2 until they actually come back. And then when they do and the direction is right, then they're cashing in massively, as you can see also in these particular reports. So I hope you enjoyed another week of our review here to give you a very good idea of how well the Profit Retriever is doing, which ones are doing best, and how you can also get in the game here and hopefully make a bit of profit for yourself. So I hope to see you on one of my next videos. Bye-bye.